What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke. I wasn't planning on doing a video about this subject, and today, as you can see, I'm not prepared. I don't have my microphone or anything, but after seeing a bit more of this online, I want to talk about the Nathan Murphy, Willie Rioli incident. Let's get into it. We, as the human race and as people, need to stop being arseholes to other people, right? And you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the racist comments onto Willie Rioli and into his DMs that Ash Johnson posted, and the AFL, Collingwood and Port Adelaide are investigating this all. And, you know, if you did something like that, a racist remark to, you know, Willie Rioli or anyone else, you can unsubscribe right now, because that is not what this platform is for. That is not what I stand for. That is not what Collingwood stand for, and it's not what you should stand for either. If one of your mates is doing it, you pull them right up, because that is absolutely disgusting. It's 2023. We should be able to separate the football incident, which was weak and cowardly, from the person and their race. To combine the two is just so stupid. It's just so stupid. You can be, and I got called out on this on Twitter because I said it was weak and cowardly. It was weak and cowardly, right? But it's separating the incident from the person. Like, why would you combine the two? You know, well, you wouldn't combine the two if it was Nathan Murphy on the other end of it and he hit it. It'll be weak and cowardly, but you wouldn't say something, you know, against him, against the color of his skin, right? So, you know, I'm all for Willie Rioli and taking that stand, and Ash Johnson taking that stand, because if it was one of our players that was getting racially abused, you best believe every Collingwood supporter would be jumping to their defense. So we need to jump to Willie Rioli's defense as well. Separate the football incident from the person. It's 2023. We need to do better. We need to do better as people and as a society, right? If you, like I said, if you see one of your friends doing it or one of your family members doing it, you call that shit out straight away, right? Straight away, because we don't want that anymore. Especially if these guys are just doing what they love. If I walked into work and, you know, someone comes up to me just from work and goes, "You absolute, you know, wog," and all this sort of stuff, and I'll be like, what the, like, bro, this is my workplace. I don't come here, I don't go anywhere in the world to be racially vilified like that. So why is it good for, not why is it good? Why do some people still feel the need to do that to Willie Rioli, to, you know, Charlie Cameron get it, to these, our First Nation people who, you know, they've been in this country for so long, they started here. You know, and that's why we have, well, why do we have Sir Doug Nicholson, bro? Because we're all in this together. We are all in this together, right? Help each other out. Just call it out if you see that shit. I'm going to try and give you my unbiased views. I'm always going to be biased to the Pies and to my players and our players and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm trying to see it with two eyes as opposed to a one eye, like Jock McPie. So we'll start with the incident, right? Willie Rioli whacks Nathan Murphy behind the play onto his face. Head high, off the ball, contact. And when I saw it, and I said this in my review of the game, I thought it was a punch. It looked like a punch to the face, right? And I'm there at the pub, you know, going nuts because it's such a close game and stuff like that. So in the furor of whatever, of all this that's happening, I was like, you know, that weak, cowardly, deserves 4 weeks, because I thought it was a whack, like a backhanded whack to the face. And the more I watched it, the more I'm like, actually, it was an open hand sort of slap to the face. So maybe the 4 weeks isn't justified because it wasn't a closed fist. You know, Nathan Murphy didn't get, he got knocked down, didn't get injured, no concussion. He was right to go, played the rest of the game with no injuries. Okay, that's out of the way. Now, it is still head-high contact, off-the-ball contact, low to medium impact contact, I would assume. Maybe, I don't know what the absolute gradings are on these incidents, but it was definitely on purpose. It wasn't accidental. Then you got people coming out like Mark Robinson, Jonathan Brown, Kane Corns, Damien Barrett, saying that Murphy milked it or Murphy dived, the onus is on Murphy. There's a lot of victim blaming in this, right? And look, we can't sit here as fans and without being really Rioli and Nathan Murphy, and they haven't really come out publicly and said anything about the incident, but we can't come here and determine the power or the lack of power in that sort of slap, right? We've all seen put the footage here anyway, so you can see what it is. So when Rioli sort of goes back and whacks him, it's to here, right? And when Nathan Murphy is looking straight on, he's not expecting the contact, and he gets clocked. And if that's a clock from the palm, or even if he gets hit here with his with the start of that palm onto his jaw, it's floored him, right? For people to say that an off the ball, head high, on purpose incident isn't worth anything and only a fine, it really makes me upset, because this year, especially with the dangerous tackles and all this talk about concussion and all these ex-footballers coming out and suing the competition about concussion issues, protect the head, unless it's an open hand slap to the head. We want to get rid of these actions, these off-the-ball, disgusting actions. And yes, in the 70s and 80s, probably the 90s, players were doing that. That's just what it was back then. I don't agree with it, but that's just what it was back then. And it was like, oh, cool, it's a fight. Go ahead. If Barry Hall hit Staker today, Barry Hall's out for 3 months, because that's ridiculous, right? I know, different to the Willie Rioli incident. I'm just giving you examples, okay? So this incident, people on Twitter, especially classic Twitter, are saying, oh, but Dustin Martin punched someone in the gut, didn't get a fine. Nick Dacos punched someone in the gut, didn't get a fine. The Essendon guy that punched Nick Dacos in the gut just got a fine. All those 3 incidents, off-the-ball incidents, non-footballing incidents, should have been at least a week. And yes, even Nick Dacos should have gotten a week. They were calling for Jordan De Goey's head. He got suspended for 3 weeks, and they were calling for 4, 5, 6, calling him weak, calling him cowardly. It's a bump, and it's stupid, and I said that, and it's dumb, and he shouldn't have done it. 3 to 4 weeks was about right for that bump. Willie Rioli, yes, there might not have been a closed fist, and it wasn't a swing, it wasn't a Mike Tyson hit. But for people to sit on the internet, as on the keyboards and on their phones, and say, "Oh, that was just a bitch slap. That wasn't too much. That was just a little bit of a slap." It's like, you weren't there. I can't even say what the thing was. How am I supposed to know if Murphy is diving or if he's not diving, or how much force Willie Rioli put into the slap? Because when you think about when you're going backwards, that's a bit of a momentum there. But we aren't these scientists. We can't determine the force, the impact. All we can see is that it's an off-the-ball hit. It's behind the play. It's a non-footballing hit. Murphy is not even looking. Oh, but Murphy was grabbing his jumper and Murphy's niggling. What you mean Murphy's doing what a defender is supposed to do? Is that justified? He gets hit in the face because he's niggling Willie Rioli all game, and that's justified? Of course not. This victim blaming is freaking atrocious. It was just a hit. It was just a slap. It was just an open hand slap. 1 week seems about right. It should be at least 2 weeks. I know he's gotten 2 weeks, but they're going to go appeal it at the tribunal. If the tribunal pushes it down to a week or a fine, I think that's absolutely weak and cowardly by the AFL, right? Because, like I keep saying, off the ball, non-footballing act, head high, Murphy's not expecting it, it floors him. Thankfully he wasn't injured and it wasn't a closed fist. I know it's a slap. I don't know how many more times I have to say that, but like I said, we can't tell the force, we can't tell the momentum, we can't tell any of these things because we are not there. We are not there in that moment. I wasn't going to make this video because I just thought it was as clear as day. It's just head high. We're protecting the head. And Murphy has got a history of concussions, right? We saw him get floored by Caminiti as well. Protect the head. It shouldn't even... I don't know what his defense is going to be. we want to protect these players and we want to, the AFL want to do everything they can, the dangerous tackles and stuff. Like, protect the head. That it has to be 2 weeks. Like, it's not, maybe 3 is a bit excessive, but 2 weeks, right? I know I called for 4, but that's because I thought it was a fist. And I said that on Twitter, and I said that wherever I said that, right? And it's just, I'm trying to see this with an unbiased eye. And if this was Jordan De Goey, if this was Nathan Murphy clocking someone like that, I would be asking for the exact same thing, and I would say it's weak, and I would say it's cowardly, because it is. They're off the ball hits. If it's a spoil and he accidentally clips him, different. If it's an off the ball hit, it's weak. It is cowardly. That's just what it is. I know this is a bit of a rant and a bit of a ramble, and like I said, I wasn't prepared. None of this is scripted or anything, so I'm happy to talk in the comments about this and address anything that I sort of said. But that's just where I stand on these two incidents. The incident being the football incident, and the incident being the Willie Rioli incident. Love one another like it's not that hard. Don't be an arsehole. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Love ya.